So we have Kamala Harris speaking on a pedestal about an agenda associated to 4 children that were killed in Georgia. This is senseless, outrageous, senseless. You're the reason why it happened. Kamala Harris, you are the reason why it happened. That is what we'll have to look forward to, whether we have our Second Amendment right or not. What'll happen is the same children will figure out ways to find weapons and then use either different weapons, make bombs, or find the weapon they need on the black market through the internet, through influence, and do it anyway. While we don't have the capability to protect ourselves when the country does collapse because of Hollywood, because of Hollywood, and because of Kamala Harris and her simulation. This is what the simulation effects do to people. What part of that don't you fucking understand, you senseless psychopath sitting in the audience? You think you're so freaking hot because your boyfriend's a tennis player? Yeah, we're jumping the gun to the girl with the bulging blue eyes that almost made me want to fucking puke. And then the dude that stands next to her, I can barely look at her because she's so nasty. Her skin is rotted to the core. Her face is like a mannequin's face. Her personality is dry as dirt, but she sure can do this. And all you brand deals are promoting women like that, which then makes our lives completely, utterly miserable. But you're selling products that are like $600 a piece, and now we're being forced by your asses to watch that shit. So you're down here. So you're down here in the poor club. The U.S. Open tennis player is making lots of money, and he's paying for everything for the girlfriend. She's wearing very expensive clothing. She's doing brand deals where she's making, according to Forbes, she's making millions. But Forbes also said that big-boobed implant Kylie Jenner was a billionaire, but we all know that was a lie. And they're selling $600 tops and $500 bottoms, and then they're just bragging to the poor people who can't afford it. And then they're showing off their lavish luxury jet planes while they talk about the clean energy deal, because only they're going to be allowed to fly at some point because you won't be able to afford a plane ticket because all the money is going to be in the elite California New Yorkers, which is what Gary Vaynerchuk, the U.S. Open players, and all of these people of influence are trying to do. So they're playing it up for each other right now. Mona Van wears an $8,000 dress. Gary says, be humble. Let's still stay relatable to the audience. How much was your dress? $8,000. Gary V, make a post. Be humble. Stay kind. Be the bigger person. You can't afford it? You don't need stuff like that. You don't need to dress up in an $8,000 dress. Only Mona Van is available to wear that because we've got $200 million. And I give her all the brand deals that she desires, and she wears sunglasses and looks so hot and cool while I hold her hand and rub all over her boobs at VCon 2023. That's his brand and image. That's the U.S. Open brand and image. So yeah, that's why people go to schools and shoot them up. Has nothing to do with the fact that the weapon was available. Has everything to do with what you are capable of, Kamala Harris. what you're willing to do and what you think democracy is with your joy and happiness agenda with open borders to create mental psychosis in young children and poor people or middle class across the entire country, while the same poor people hooting and hollering in the crowd. We don't have any protection from anyone. And who's to say that the four people they off weren't bullies? That's something Kamala Harris would say. So while Mona Van is wearing the $8,000 dress, Gary Vee's promoting joy, happiness, be the bigger person, and all the other bullshit nonsense that he promotes on his product. On his product line, which is all of his content, his product line, it's called intellectual property of garbage. Everybody has their own intellectual property of garbage that they're affecting in all sorts of different psychosis ways, while they all yell out, be kind. And then none of them speak to anything of substance. Well, I don't really know how you're supposed to be kind. I just know that you need to do it instead of actually being kind. So the things that you've done to me are not kind, Gary Vee. The things that Mona Van does is not kind. The things that Kamala Harris has done are not kind. So how are we supposed to experience joy and happiness if we're living in a rotten collusion, corruption, and espionage world where a child goes into a school and shoots it up? And then Kamala has the audacity to speak to agenda versus the fact that we lost 4 children and tries to promote her campaign. I almost can guarantee Joe Biden is president, to let everybody know. That he didn't even reach out or call those parents because he's too demented. Because they have to make sure that he's on his A game before he's able to speak. You know how like when you're in a dementia patient, you say, well, today's a good day. Tomorrow's a bad day. Friday, maybe. We'll see how he feels. Hi, Jean-Pierre. I'm on the beach. Conversations between the White House and Joe Biden. We just want to win. Win what? What exactly do you want to win, Catherine Jean-Pierre, a French woman? What exactly do you want to win, Newsom? What exactly do you get out of having homeless people on the streets? What exactly reward do you get, Mona Van, by violently abusing me on a regular basis with the help of Gary Vaynerchuk? What exactly reward do you get, Ryan Reynolds, from staying married to Blake Lively? The reality is you don't know how to operate in any form of business. So I'm not really sure, Ryan, how you're making it in business when you can't even sustain a relationship that's worthy of watching. So if you can't function as a parent and as a husband, you should not be running a 6-figure, 7-figure business, Gary Vee. You're not a professional. It's very clear in your behavior with Mona Van is showing us you are not a professional. You and you and you, none of you are a professional. You're fucking actors in a simulation. And the Democrats offed 4 more children today. And that's on the shoulders of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And she's showing her true colors with a bunch of psychosis individuals standing in her audience, booing and hissing and cheering with joy. And there's still going to be no results from anything that went down today at that school. Because it's not the children's fault, it's the teachers and it's the parents' fault. And even worse, it's the president's fault. And it's your fault, Gary Vee. And it's your fault, Mona Van. And it's your fault, influencers. And it's your fault, Hollywood. And it sure as hell is your fault, Zendaya, with your euphoria. And that's the reality. It ain't even the weapons, it's the freaking industry.